Hi everyone, how's everyone doing? I thought I'd come on and just quickly take a couple minutes to pull a card. I just got the urge to do it, so let me go ahead. My stand is, my nose is vibrating. So what that's telling me is there's some fire element vibration that is burning out through the breath. So maybe some people might be having a lot of anxiety today, or a lot of agitation, or even on the other end of this dragon energy is complete numbness. So if you are experiencing any emotion that you can attach to what I just shared, this is probably a card for you. So let's see what wants to come out. I'm going to have to hold this in a weird way because my Reiki room is, it's got two beds because I was working with a couple today. So it's a little crunchy. I can't get into the closet where my stand is, so just bear with me. So let's see. Let's put you right here. All right. So let's quick pull a card, see what wants to come out. Did you guys, I don't know, I guess shut up and read the cards, Jessica. All right, the Swan Queen is what's on the top. So that's what's trying to come out, the Swan, the transformation. So if you're having anxiety, anxiety is often linked to past experiences and feeling like fearful that it might happen again. So the Swan is trying to come up and out of that to say, nope, that's let go of the fear, move into your emotional body, trust yourself, and move forward. Move forward what feels right. Move into the emotional, the heart, not up here. So what came out is the Spiral Dancer, and so that would be like for our feminine energy, and it's the number 5, which is for higher purpose. So movement, we were talking about that yesterday. Move your body. If you don't dance, or you don't run, or you don't do yoga, you don't, I don't know, maybe you kickbox, I don't know what you do. But if you don't do something physical as far as like for a hobby or a practice, then try to get outside and work on something. You know what? The grass is growing now. Go cut your grass. Maybe you're like me and the hailstorm was just yesterday and now you got a broken windshield. So you got to go fix that. But get up. Instead of following your normal routine, well, you can do anything you want, but here is a suggestion to do something different. Whatever your routine normally is, let's just take Monday through Friday, if that's, or whatever your work week is. When you get home, instead of doing, well, maybe you might need 5 minutes to check in, maybe like kiss your spouse or go to the bathroom or turn the oven on, or I don't know, whatever you do. But then take 5 minutes and do something that you normally wouldn't do. That's active. That's not sitting. So that's what it's asking you to do. Perception. And understand how that 5 minutes can impact what you might do for the rest of the night, because it took you out of your regular schedule. And if you're trying to move through, if you're trying to swan out, then you're required to do some things differently. So 5 minutes can really actually, sometimes, you know what, when I get up, like let's say I was normally going to lay down and take a nap. If I went out and I did something for 5-10 minutes, then I'd be like, well, I'm already up, so I might as well go do something else. And believe me, we all got a billion other things that we have around the house that we could do, right? Right. So that's, but then have compassion that, you know what, it's not like you're really maybe driven to do something different, because we all get stuck in routines. That's what we do, right? So have some compassion that it might take you a little bit to get into a different rhythm, to get into a different flow. And just honor that. No judgment. Each day is a new day. That's why I say keep it in the now, just for today. You know what? If you're not home from work yet and you want to up and out, you want to swan out, then for 5 minutes, after you do your basic check-in, go do something else. Go outside, walk around the block, go landscape your, well, I'm looking at my grass. My grass has got to be cut. And you know, my ride-on mower just broke. The blade underneath fell off. I'm like, what the hell? Now I gotta mow it with a regular mower. That's a lot of work. But anyways, we're not talking about me now, are we? No, we're not. So the next one that came up, which would be for the masculine energy, is the Shadow Queen. So in the masculine energy is the dark feminine. That's what's trying to swan. It's the black swan. But it doesn't want to be in darkness anymore. It wants to come into the light. And it doesn't necessarily even want to be the white swan. Maybe it wants to be the rainbow swan. I don't know. Whatever color you want it to be. But it wants to come out of the darkness. So whatever you're anxious about, whatever you're agitated about, whatever emotion you are experiencing that's uncomfortable, that wants to be attended to, that's why the emotions happen. It's our body saying, excuse me, I've been trying to tell you something for a while. So listen. Now that doesn't mean that you just do what everybody tells you to do. No, but listen to it. Allow it to come forth. Figure out, let's say it's agitation. Figure out what it is that's in your life that's you can attach to as making you so agitated. And then ask yourself, is there one thing that you can do to unplug that for the day, for the moment? Just one thing. Because maybe you have 20 things that are attached to it. So look at where you can actually get in at and get started. Because that's how you start any project, right? You start with something that you already know. And then you move into it and you kind of figure out, well, you know, maybe I could do this differently. Or maybe I could watch a YouTube thing on it. Or maybe I could ask somebody. But the problem is you got to get going in at whatever is causing you distress. And remember, you're doing this for you. You're not doing it for anyone else. It's not because so-and-so says you should change, or if you're this amount of age, then you should be here. No, this is like, feel into what it is you're experiencing today. Ask yourself what needs to be expressed or what's trying to be expressed. And is there anything that you can do today that can unhook just one thing from that problem? And do that by starting with taking 5 minutes to get outside your normal routine. And usually the 5 minutes to get outside your normal routine is easiest when we get home, because maybe there's at least an hour that you're not necessarily doing anything that you have to do. And I know it doesn't fit for everyone, but you get what I'm saying. So the Shadow Queen is 16, which is the Tower. And that, to me, my client today, I was just talking about, you know what? If you don't move some stuff out of your way, the universe will. It's much more comfortable when we move it out of our own way versus having it fall down. I know that from personal experience. So trying to get into this place that you are making the changes versus having other people make those changes for you. Acquiring knowledge, insecurity, manipulation. So, holding a balance. Figuring out what it is that is the problem, what it is that you might be able to do in this given moment to help address it, at least even in a little bit. But be careful, because sometimes our minds will manipulate us into thinking things that are not necessarily true to keep us stuck. So if you have a confidant, if you have someone that you trust, I would say, talk it through. Throw it out on the table and see what someone else's perspective is of it. You don't have to take anyone's advice. It's just gathering information. And not being insecure in the sense that if people know that maybe things aren't working out so well for you in a certain area, if they're people you want to be around, you want to hang around, you want to share some of your life with, well then, you know what? They're not going to think necessarily anything tragic about you. Even if you're going through a really difficult time, if anything, they probably would want to be helpful in some way. You would be surprised when we make our minds up through our hearts and we actually go and do something that's different, how accommodating other people can be. Because we're in the flow.